Ina iwi pai nei. Aku mihi nui kia koutou katoa. Tēnā koutou ia koutou, mahi mō Aotearoa. Hi ao haepei, hi ao riaki, ti ao waiata, kia ora koutou. I feel honoured to be here today. Having sat where you are now, I have seen many of our great artists and musicians honoured by their peers. People like Shona Lang, Toi Love, Moana Maniapoto, Dave Dobbin, Book Runga, Carl and Nick from Supergroove, and the Great Dames, otherwise known as the Top Twins. They all have something in common. And to explain what that something is, I'm not going to use my own words, I'm going to use the words of Don McGlashan, who said in 2012, quote, "Songs and music are the animating spark of the world today. Without them, the world would be like a fairground before the power switch has been turned on, before the lights blaze and all the wheels and rides start whizzing around." Each member of the New Zealand Music Hall of Fame have lit up our fairground, known as Aotearoa. Some have also done Australia a favour and lit up their fairground too, like the wonderful Jenny Morris. Jenny Morris was born in Tokoroa and grew up, Tokoroa represent, and grew up in Hamilton, and she has often spoken about her musical upbringing. She and her sisters would sing while they did the dishes. They would sing in the car during long trips around the country, or they'd pick out harmony parts or play musical quiz games. But for all of that, Jenny's path into music wasn't a direct one. She became a teacher, but in the 1970s was also a member of the all-women six-piece Wide-Mouth Frogs, and later, the Crocodiles. It was the Crocodiles, with Jenny alongside the unforgettable Bruno Lawrence, Fame Floors, Peter Descent, Tony Blackhouse and Tina Matthews, that gave us the classic hit song Tears. This was a career-defining moment for Jenny, whose distinctive vocals and style won over the hearts of New Zealanders and introduced her to a much bigger audience in Australia. What followed was an outstanding solo career. Jenny entered a scene dominated by the icons of that vibrant Aussie pop rock era: Midnight Oil, Cold Chisel, AC/DC, INXS, all battle-hardened performers dominating airwaves and venues with Australian rock and roll anthems. And in that mix was this young New Zealand woman with her own string of hit singles and albums. She was confident and determined, with a powerful voice and a sharp pop prowess, and she cemented her place as one of the Southern Hemisphere's most respected singers and songwriters, becoming the face of 1980s Aussie Kiwi pop. Jenny's reign began in 1987 with the release of her debut record, Body and Soul. Great songs and collaborations followed. The Neil Finn penned You I Know, She's Got to Be Loved, Save Me, and Street of Love, written by the great Paul Kelly, to name but a few. But it was Jenny's second album that I remember. Shiver was the second cassette that my sister and I ever bought. Buying a tape in those days was such a big deal that we pulled our pocket money for it. And when it came to Jenny, there was no disagreement. She wrote anthems that didn't just deserve to be sung, they deserved to be repeated over and over on your Walkman, belted out in your shower. You, Jenny, became our harmonies in the car, on the road, while doing the dishes. But music has never been the sum of Jenny's contribution. She's been instrumental in the Nordoff Robbins Music Therapy Art of Music events, a World Vision Ambassador and the first female chair of APRA. Jenny, you are a powerhouse, not just an incredible musician, but a force for good in the industry and in the world. Consider this induction a tribute to a voice that lit up our fairground, that has never left us, and that continues to blaze.